G'day guys, how we doing? Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is, Sunday? January.
Come on, mate.
January the 5th, 2025.
That's
I actually
it.
said 24 yesterday, so
Yeah.
apologies about that. A couple of people point that out to me, but as you can see, it's a little bit different today. And no, this is not Neil beside me. Actually, I'm on face track there, I'll get rid of that. That's not Neil beside me, that is Uncle Ronnie Pickett. He's taken the spot of Neil today. Hopefully he's a little bit better behaved than what Neil is.
Hope you haven't got me on the leash, mate.
No, not yet anyway.
Oh, God.
So we've arrived on the Gold Coast. We are in a great little apartment owned by the great man here. And it was a good night's sleep anyway, wasn't it, Ronnie?
Fabulous, mate.
And
yeah, we're both dead tired.
Yeah. And of course we're up here for the Jai Opetaia and David Nyika world title fight. So today where we're going today, we've got the open workouts at,
2 bells.
At Pacific Fair.
Yep.
That's at about 2 o'clock. It's a little bit later today, by the way. We sort of got carried away talking this morning, didn't we? We got up early, but it's been about 2 hours just talking shit.
Shooting the breeze, I think they call it, mate, do they?
So, yeah, after this, we're going to get something to eat, and then we'll go to Pacific Fair for the open workout, see if we can get some footage of the guys, maybe a word or two with them if we have the chance or the opportunity.
Yep.
Then, tomorrow is the
Press conference, is it?
press conference, yes. Ronnie knows what's going on. So we've got the press conference, and then we've got a Q&A or something after that, so it must be just...
Which will be good as well.
Yeah, and that's just down the road as well. And then Tuesday is the weigh-in, and of course the fight is on Wednesday night. So, Ronnie, it's good to get your comments on a few things. Normally what I do is I'll address some of the comments or whatever it is from the previous day.
Yep.
Some of the news that's out there at the moment. And one of the things I was talking about yesterday was Tszyu. Now, he made the comments about he wanted to get back to his roots, go back to the rocky side of things, I suppose, doing it hard, no sponsors, no funding. He did get a lot of pushback from some parts on social media. One in particular was Wade Ryan, who said you don't know anything about doing it hard. I myself thought it was taken a little bit out of context.
I do as well.
So what do you reckon? Well, first of all, what did you make of his last fight? I think we've all had our say about it.
Yeah.
But what do you think his next move should be and everything going forward?
Well, hard as it might sound, mate, I think he's nearly got to start, have a couple of domestic fights, tough fights, domestic fights, and earn his spot again. Because 2 losses in a row, even though the first one, you can talk about that. But I think the second one, he definitely underestimated the guy, and so he's got to pay the consequences. Yeah. But I think obviously I think he's better than domestic level, but they possibly might have to bring a fight out here, just a bit of a tear under him, and start again.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and
well, he's lost a bit of credibility, mate, hasn't he?
Well, he has, yeah, to some extent, yeah. And some of the contents is actually interesting reading online. Yes, there wasn't a lot of sympathy for him as far as even on the comments of this channel goes, and I think a lot of people agreed with Wade Ryan. Again, I think he was taken out of context. I think we would agree though that he has had a lot of the benefits with the last name, and he's gone on a lot of shows and that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, he still had to do the work. He still had to...
Oh, you can't take it away from him, Leonard.
He still had to get in the ring and punch on and get the job done. So I agree to some extent, especially with what Wade Ryan said. I'm not really sort of agreeing with a lot of the comments from people saying that he's just had an armchair ride the whole way.
Oh, no, don't agree at all. You can only fight who's in front of you as well. But by the same token, we could be seen to be criticising him, but both you and I, we do admire him as a fighter, mate. Let's say a boxer. I don't like to use the word fighter. As I say, up until the last 2 losses, mate, he's been bowling them over.
You think he can come back?
I do. I really do. Yeah, they might have to look at the training situation, in my opinion. Well, and it's only an opinion.
Well, of course, Costa has mentioned that it might be worth him going over training him in Russia. Do you reckon that's something that could happen?
Geez, I don't know.
I think it's the right thing if he does agree to do it.
Well, there's pluses for it, for sure and certain. I mean, Costa's an all-time. Yeah. I just sort of think, there's a lot of really, really good trainers in America where he could base himself there and get better sparring than in Russia, but I could be wrong. Yeah. as there's pluses and minuses for it. If I had to sort of make a decision, I would say no. I would say go to America.
Yeah.
Like Manny Robles, there's good trainers in America.
Yeah.
They could maybe sharpen him up a little bit. I think more with him, it's an attitude thing, Lyndon. He gets a mindset, and probably driven by the media, he gets a mindset where he thinks he's just going to walk through these blokes.
Yeah,
and got caught out in the last fight.
Yeah. There's so many. I mean, there's so many different reasons about why. I mean, everyone's got their own theories about how it happened. I just think at the end of the day, he went in there and maybe underestimated.
Oh, he certainly did, mate.
A little bit and just paid the price. I know there's lots of theories about. Why it happened, but I think sometimes the most, the easiest and most basic explanation is the reason. Like he just got caught cold, and
but you and I spoke about it, Lyndon, and this is where the training situation comes in. We both said he should have taken a couple of rounds off instead of getting, the next round he comes out and tries to knock the bloke's head off when he was at 6s and 7 himself. As I say, like you mentioned it first, the fact that he should have got on his bike and also held at every opportunity until he got his senses back.
Well, that's the Tszyu thing. One thing I didn't actually mention, because I'm not sure you actually watch walking boxing every day like you should, but I have actually been discussing
guilty of honour's charge.
Trips. And I've spoken recently about our 2015 and 2017 trip.
Mate.
So this is the Ronnie I speak about, who was the conditioning coach, who wasn't happy that he was left out of...
hang on, where are we going with this? Hang on.
Wasn't happy that he was initially left off the list of people to go, and chucked a bit of a tantrum.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
But Ronnie, now, all jokes aside, you were right at the start with the boys when they first turned pro. You were the conditioning coach. Just tell us a little bit about...
To be perfectly truthful, mate, just their running coach.
Okay.
Mark October.
Tell us about how, first of all, you hooked up with the twins, and then some of the things you've done with him in the camps over the years.
Yeah, well, it's been a fantastic journey, mate, really, and like a lot of things, you just fall into these things. I actually took a boxer by the name of Freddie Tukes to East End Boxing. I thought it could help him, and the twins were training there. I got to become friends with them, really good friends, and I was giving Freddie some running exercises, and the twins joined in, and it just went from there, mate. Really, that's basically it. And Jesus, mate, what it's been now, probably 10 years or more. And
well, the trips that we went, I've given sort of my side of sort of what happened in 2015, that first trip. What was your spin on this?
Oh, well, for a fella at the age of 75 went to Los Angeles for the first time, I was like a kid in a toy shop, mate. We're meeting these boxers that I'd only read about. That and the 2017 trip, I'll just never forget them, mate. They were just fabulous.
And we've been on a few other adventures, haven't we? I mean, we went. What was the other one we went to? 2018, we went to see Jeff Horn, Terence Crawford.
Yeah, we did.
2019 was Canelo and Danny Jacobs.
Yeah, we did.
What was the other one? We've been to Kambosos and Lomachenko.
And also Andrew's fight in...
of course.
Jason's fight in Stockton.
Yeah.
And then Andrew's fight in the MGM.
That was right. We went 23,
sorry.
We went to see...
Time goes so quick.
Jason against Astrologio in Stockton, and then Andy at the MGM. So we've had a few adventures.
We have.
But your highlight of it, you reckon?
Oh, well, I'd have to sort of go back to, mate, what we mentioned before, 2015 and 2017. They were basically training camps, weren't they?
Yeah.
Which we went to the Legends Gym in Los Angeles, and the likes of who we met there, like Michael Conlon, Campbell, Valdez. I mean, as I was sort of saying, the boys got really quality sparring with Nonito Donaire. Yeah. So, you've got to mark them off. And the other ones, mate, as we went, they were just weren't holidays, of course, but we just went to see the fights. Bloody fabulous.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah,
we've had a few passengers along the way which come with us. Has been good. Old Lukey up there from Brisbane.
Lightning Luke.
Lightning Luke.
Oh, you got to love Lukey.
Lightning Luke.
Yeah, love him. Good man.
Now, Lightning Luke. We won't go into the full story, but we got to...
well, he turned up missing for a few days.
He turned up missing. We didn't see him for the first 4 days, but
Well, that's just Lukey, mate. He does his own thing.
He turned up, and we had Adrian Varley in 2019, I think it was, and Rossi come over in 2018. Look, you probably don't know these guys, of course, but we've had just some unbelievable
mate, it's just been
troubles.
fabulous. And let's not forget, mate, the trip you give young Jackie Dilks, mate, with his camera work.
We didn't actually mention Jack. He's another one that didn't actually, didn't look like he was going to make it at the start, because we got to the airport. We made it to San Francisco.
They reckon he looked like a bit of a felon.
We got to San Francisco, and suddenly Jack was no more.
We were a bit worried there at one stage, mate.
Where's Jack gone? He's been detained out the back, and we couldn't call him. They took his phone.
No, they give you nothing over there, do they, mate?
They took his phone, and we had to. I was trying to ask questions, and Jack, if you're watching this, mate, I'm sure you don't mind just telling the story. But if you know Jack and you've met Jack, he's probably the most innocent-looking guy ever.
He's a good man, our Jackie boy. No, good man.
He just didn't come through customs.
No.
Trying to ask what's going on, and they said, none of your business, step off, sir. And
I think the further he was going, mate, the bigger the hole he was digging.
Yeah. And what actually happened was he had his photography equipment with him, because he was going to do some stuff for Top Rank. And they thought he was going to work. He answered the question wrong, and all of a sudden they thought he was going to be working in America, and they detained him and asked him some questions.
Yeah, that's right.
He made it in the end and ended up ringside at Jason's fight with Astrolabio in Stockton, and ringside for Andy's fight at the MGM Grand with a special guest of Mikey Williams, the main photographer of Top Rank.
Well, I can remember you saying to me, mate, before we left, you don't know it now, Jack, but things will open up for you, mate, and we don't know what they'll be, but they will, and that's how it turned out, mate.
And obviously, special thanks to Team Maloney, who made it happen for him, of course.
Yeah.
Got him in, took him under the wing, and introduced him to those guys.
Well, that head photographer, mate, for Top Rank, is it that bloke?
Yeah, Michael Williams.
Yeah, mate, done an awesome job.
Yeah, and now he's he did some work at the Carlton Footy Club. Now he's at Port Adelaide, poor bugger. Sometimes you got to take a step back.
Oh, well, forgive me for that one, mate. So. Yeah, that's right.
All right, on to some other stuff in the boxing world, mate. We'll move on. The Fury Usyk situation. Who'd you have winning that a couple of weeks ago?
Oh, I thought it was the right decision, mate. But I don't think, quite honestly, I can't see where the comments are coming from as far as saying that Fury is the worst heavyweight champion in boxing history. It just doesn't go for me, mate. Like you named him off the other night there. So no, I thought it was the right decision. What next for Fury? Well, fortunately for him, mate, he's a master of his own destiny. Everyone's screaming for the Joshua fight. But, money talks. He could very well retire, mate, and never have to work again, of course. So, and his age, he might want to do it, mate, because he's a naturally big guy, and he's still got to drop weight before each fight. Like, I don't know, mate. I seem to think he will go again, and maybe his ego might get the better. There might even be a Usyk 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I've said for the last few sort of episodes, I think it'll be Fury and Joshua this year.
Yeah.
I think it just makes sense. I don't think we should focus too much on the recent results of both guys. It's still a big fight just between those two.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I think it'd still be the biggest fight in English boxing history.
They'd have to lock the doors, mate.
Yeah.
And you'd have to fancy Fury in that fight. Mainly because of Joshua's chin, I reckon.
Yeah,
he's a bit chinny.
I don't know. I still reckon Joshua might have the tools. I don't know.
Oh, do you think?
Anyway,
you think? Well, I'm not saying, it's just an opinion.
All right, well, before we finish up, on to Wednesday's fight. What is it today? Sunday, so I've got 3 days to go.
Yep.
What are you making of Nyika? Do you give him any chance against our man Jai?
Well, I think you summed it up a couple of weeks ago, mate. And you and I don't know much about him, mate, to be truthful, but you reckon he's got ability, but I think he's a little bit early for him. Yeah.
Well, he's a 2-time Commonwealth Games gold medalist.
Yeah.
And I think it was a 2020 Olympic bronze medalist. So the guy can fight.
Which definitely,
make no mistake about that. If you're not really familiar with David Nyika, don't be put off by that. He can fight. He's a very, very good young fighter. The issue I've got is he hasn't had any fights at the level.
And against the guys that, top of the tree.
Yep, the top of the tree, D-man.
There's nobody in the division can beat him.
No, and I just think it might be a bit early. So
yep, I see a stoppage coming.
Yeah, I was just going to say my prediction is probably sort of 7th, 8th, 9th round.
Yeah.
I think David Nyika's definitely got a future. I'm just not sure it's going to be now. So,
who was his last opponent, Lennon?
I can't remember actually.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering how he got the shot. Well, maybe he's the only one that will step up.
One of those lucky, and look, it has happened in the past. He's one of those got those lucky shots.
Yeah.
The original opponent had to pull out.
Yep.
He stepped in. How many times have we seen that before?
Oh, hell, mate.
Where the late replacement steps in and gets the job done.
Mate.
But I think the difference is now is that Jai Opetaia knows Nyika very, very well. They've done a lot of rounds together sparring.
Yep.
He knows exactly what he's up against, and that's why I don't think you'll see Jai Opetaia slip up and take the proverbial banana peel.
And of course, this is pro boxing, mate. I mean, amateurs is fabulous and what they do and achieve, but pro boxing, 3-minute rounds, 10 rounds or 12 rounds, it's a big ask, mate. It's a big step up.
It is.
And some of the guys can't make that transition to the later rounds.
Yep. No, agree, mate. Well, mate, you've done very, very well for your first edition of Walking Boxing. You've got another 3 or 4 to go.
Well, I was just following the script, mate, I'm reading from here.
Well, that's the thing, if the script is, there is no script here. So I must admit, if there's been anything else that's happened in the last 24 hours in world boxing that we should be talking about and we've missed, I apologise, because probably like you, I have not had a time to really scour the sites. I don't know what has happened. I'm just sort of focusing on the Opetaia fight at the moment. But we'll maybe address some of the other issues going on in the world tomorrow, mate. We've got plenty to talk about, plenty of time. So that's going to do it for today. Probably about time to turn around, mate. It's getting a bit warm out here.
You might want to have a look at there. There's a market going on down here, mate.
Have a look up there.
We're only 3 minutes from Broadbeach.
All right, let's do
I'll shout you a cup of coffee.
Sounds good, mate. What is it? You would shout if you were down a well? Was that the old adage?
Oh, no, I'll never forgive myself for that one, mate. I could have put pins in my eyes. I hated myself as soon as it came out of my mouth. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't shout if I fell down a well. That was his words.
Oh, come on, mate.
I haven't let him forget about it. That was about 7 years ago.
That's
so guys,
right.
That's going to do it for today. Again, thanks for tuning in. As I said, Ronnie will be a guest on here for the rest of the week, and see what we can get up to and talk about. If you've got any suggestions, put it down below, of course, and we'll catch you tomorrow.